Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey. I had a question on some of the types of bottom boards that I've used in the past. I still got some that I'm using. Actually, this was the type that was in question. Someone asked me a question on it, and I figured I'd try to give them an answer the best I could. Now, this is a typical, I'm not a carpenter, so I can't tell you exactly what to do. But if you can build a regular bottom board, this right here is a bottom board that just accepts a regular box with the landing board on it. And screen bottom, and I don't have the kind of interest reducers I got there, but this one will show you. This is the landing board. So what I wanted to do was kind of do away with the landing board and just go with a fixed reduced entrance. And what we came up with was this here. And a friend of mine that was over at Votech well worked, he was the Votech instructor. He built the same type of bottom and just done away with the landing board. If you can see right here, all this is a typical bottom. Didn't have it slide under the bottom for any insulation or anything to slide in. And he built this one also. And hey buddy, you want to come help? Okay, come on up. But anyway, all this is the same bottom as that one basically, and it's a centered entrance reducer and just nailed down into there. That's all that is. And I'll turn it over where you can see is kind of the way he built some of his bottom boards. And to keep it from being so complicated, the next year after we built some of these, we went to using regular 2x4s. If you see, all that is a 2x4, and he run it through I don't think he used a router, I think he used a table saw to cut these out. But it's the same thing and just done with 2x4s. And if you can look right there, you can see what he did with the corners to make them strong, front and back. And then I think he routed this in. I mean, you could do the same thing. You could just cut it flat right there and then put one of these in there and staple it in. But I'm thinking he routed that in. I'm not sure what he did there. But it's pretty simple. I mean, I can't do it. I'm not a carpenter. But somebody had asked about it, and I told him I'd try to show him the best I could. All right, I was asked about my toolbox. It's basically a nuke box, and I just took it and we put a bottom on it and a lid, and made kind of a deep lid where I could store my brush in here. It just slides in under this rubber band. Slide it in and out, and I got it laying this way, that way it don't get messed up so much. And I put my queen catcher right here in the rubber band. I used to have a striker. See this right here? I used to have a striker in there to light my smoker, but I don't even really use a striker anymore. But I guess I should keep one in here just in case. But what I use is a propane bottle to light my smoker. That'll be another whole video. but I got a strap on the end. If you look over there, you can see that I got a strap on the end, and it just holds it in, and it sits on the landing board. But I always keep mine packed as much as possible. I might use it on 2 hives, still got plenty of straw in it. Put a stick in it and put it out. Next day I might just light it up again. So that's the way I've been doing that for several years now. Anyway, that's where it goes. I got a little holder in here where you can see, I don't know if y'all can see down in there or not. It holds my hive tools. I'll take you a better picture of it. Anyway, that holds 2 hive tools. I actually need another one, but I got them in there. We'll get them out of the way. Something else, I actually got a better set of these now, so I need to take these out. I hardly ever use them. I just got that piece of wire bent on it to keep it closed. But this come with a beekeeper kit that I bought when I first started beekeeping. It come in it, and I hardly ever use it. But anyway, that holds that. I've got, get the loose stuff in here. I hardly ever use these. I got 2 different, and they need cleaning. But I got 2 different magnifying glasses. Dollar store one maybe, or Walmart. And I saw this one on vacation somewhere. The battery's dead now, but it's got, no, they actually coming on. You just can't see them. But they got lights on them. Never use it either. It's just something in the way. Got a little tape in here if I want to label a hive or something and mark something on it. Bag of rubber bands just stays down in the bottom. Let me just take a picture down in the bottom too before I go any further. Alright, more rubber bands. I got a little can of, that's the little O-rings that come with the internal feeders. There's another name for them too. But that's spares basically if I need them. A little bit of electrical tape, and I got assorted screws and tacks in there in case I need them. And what most of that is for, like with a nuke box like this one or my other little decoat nuke boxes, I've got several pieces just thrown in here in case I need to close it, one of the colonies up. I can staple it on or use a screw and just screw it in. The bottom of this thing is full of these. I've got my little container here with my swarm bottles. They stay in here most of the time. Usually when swarm season is close to over, I might just set it in the honey house and get it out of the way. This is supposed to be in a plastic bag. I think I see the plastic bag laying right there. But it was laid in the bottom, so it's dirty. So that's wax in case I need to rub wax on a foundation, kind of freshen it up a little bit. I've got frame spacer if I want to pull a frame out of a 10 frame box and make it 9 up in the honey box. I've got some olive oil. No, this is not olive oil. This may be regular vegetable oil to go in beetle traps and stuff. I hardly ever use it unless I just got one that's in real bad shape. I've got the Mr. Ed hive tool in here. I don't hardly ever use it. Another roll of tape. I can put it in this box here. I got another box here that's got That's got the tip for my swarm boxes. I also got several other in here in case I need different things. I also even got a regular Phillips screwdriver in here. I've got 2 or 3, let me set these right here, 2 or 3 utility knives. I just got a regular one to do cutting cardboard or whatever. And these are what I use to cut swarm cells out of the frames or plastic. I always buy these breakaways because these breakaways, you can actually get up against that plastic and work it real flat and cut those cells away, and I like that. Works real good. I usually try to buy a new one every year, and just the others usually just either stay in here or get passed on to my other toolbox. I got way too many paint pens in here. I'll probably narrow it down to last year's color and this year. And I've got a new blue in there, so I'll probably go with it. I think this year blue, I think. But anyway, pair of scissors in case I need them for anything. I actually thought I was going to use them for cutting the queen's wings, but I figured, I got to looking at them, I said, those are way too big. So I got me another pair to cut wing. You see that up against my finger. I got them to cut a wing on the queen. Guess what? You know how many times I've used it to cut queen wings? 0. I never have got into it. Here's an old dipper in here I'll probably never use. I got that for my oxalic acid. But I got another one. I made another one with the piece of pipe and everything. Just a couple months after I started using OA years ago, and now I don't even use it. I got the plunger, but I don't ever use that. I don't use any of that unless I just think I need to. I've been carrying this thing for ever. It's a grafting tool. And that's everything in here. Let's see, let me put that back up. I've got, there's my wife's hive tool down in there. And I usually got more of these. I'm gonna have to put some more of these in here. I try to keep half a dozen of these with the caps on them. Some with food in it and some without it. Just to catch any queens. You know, I might see virgin queens running around in a hive. I'm supposed to have a couple extra of these, but I've got this one here, and I've got little screws in here that I can screw this to a box if I need to. And like I say, I use the screens for that too, and there's a bunch of them. Here's supposed to be the one-handed queen catcher. I'm always able to do that with one hand. Just sitting here, but when I'm getting in a hive and might have gloves on or whatever, it's a little bit harder to do. But I don't really like it because even when you kind of close that queen up, she can still move back and forth here a little bit. I still like the old crusher, and it's real loose. So what I do when I catch her in there, I've got it like this, and I just kind of slowly work it up until it lands on her, and then I'll just take it and dab her. And she can't move once that place where you want to paint gets in that square. She's not moving. Friend of mine made me this. It's another marker. I've never really used it, but it would probably do a good job. You just lay it on top of the queen and dot, push it down in there as far as you need to push it, and paint her. But that is everything. Anyway, somebody had asked me about the toolbox, and this is all it is. Now, if I was going to do it again, one thing I would do, I did it this way in case I was out in the apiary, and for whatever reason, I found swarm cells or whatever, and I needed to put one in here, and I didn't have an extra box. I could put a frame in here. But it being a flat bottom on here instead of a regular hive bottom, if I ever did this again, I would make it about another inch deeper. That way, if you got that cell on the bottom of that frame, you can set it in here without worrying about mashing it. I do have a couple of extra boxes for that reason. Sometimes I have them with me, sometimes I don't. Well, that's it on the toolbox. One thing I forgot on this that I was going to mention, because I was in a carpenter shop, this got built with wood. But if I ever redo this part on here, probably what I will end up doing, I've got Kydex plastic. If any of you that build holsters are familiar with the plastic holsters, that Kydex is the material they use for that. I was just going to make me just take this off and just make little hangers with that Kydex on there. But so far it's stayed in place. Okay, I was putting up one more swarm trap. I'm doing something just a little bit different here. I'm putting a partial plastic foundation up against the wall. The old brew comb next to that, and another partial foundation on the other side, and then two empties or two foundationless. I'm gonna hang it up, see what it does. Sometime when you don't have a board with you, a little block to level it, just put a stick in it. This is the one at the edge of my yard. We'll watch it and see what happens. As you can see on this rail right here, a lot of times I leave old equipment sitting on it when it's not in use. And it's just got old boxes on it. And I tend to sometimes keep frames and spare stuff just sitting around in case I need it in the bee yard. But this is what we're going to do. That box there's even just got some old spare frames sitting in it. But what I'm going to do is set this little stand right here, and I'm going to put an old box in it just with old frames, and I'm going to bait it. Let me get set up and I'll show you what I'm doing. I got a political sign I'm going to put under it because I don't have a solid bottom that I want to use for a swarm box. This is an old box that just got through together. We did 2 or 3 like this. Just didn't have time to actually build them right, so we just threw some boards together one years ago to put a swarm in or whatever it was. I'm gonna leave it empty. Now, I'm just gonna set this box on top of it. This actually be used for, most of these in here is foundationless. Just set out here in the yard in case I need it. But I got a few that's been used before. But anyway, this is what I'm doing. I got one good plastic dirt dauber even built on it. I may come back and heat that up a little bit or wax it with a little block. One old comb. I'm going to put that one with the drone cells. I'm going to put it to the outside here. And I got one frame with half a foundation. I'm going to use that right up against it. I hope that'll work. And then foundationless. I'm going to bait it right here. Let's see. Got bees flying around already. I'm going to use one of these. One of these. Right, let me set this down a minute. I think I'm going to use the swarm rustler on this one. We'll spray a little on front, a little here, and since it's a big box, I'm going to do it twice right there. I'm going to drop this right down in there. I need to wear gloves when I do this because I get it on my hands and then go to touching everything with it. I've got an old cover here, just sides of the cover needs to be, telescoping cover needs to be replaced or just thrown away, one or the other. I'm gonna go ahead and set that there. We're gonna see if we'll catch a swarm here. Still a week or two away.